Hey, how are my YouTube friends doing today? Probably pretty shitty, just like I was up until I figured this thing out. You know, if your AC, when you turn on your AC and your fan doesn't spin, I would say 90% of the time it's probably going to be your run capacitor, this baby right here. But okay, how do you replace it? Where do you buy it from? This one here I bought for $22 shipped off eBay. This piece of metal right here, it's like this thing here is going to be the culprit. The reason I'm telling you about 90% of the time is because in the 3 years that I've lived here, I've had to replace this. This is the third time. Okay, a simple capacitor, okay, called a run capacitor. This is what gets your fan spinning. Okay, but you're thinking, oh, how am I going to live without AC for the next 3 days? You know, up until I order this on eBay, I can't pull that off, right? Well, let me show you what happens. When you turn on your AC, this is what you're going to be looking for here. All right, just told my wife to turn on the AC upstairs. Okay, now you guys hear this noise. The compressor is coming on, but the fan's not spinning. So what I did to, you know, up until I waited for this, I need AC, okay? It's 90 to 100 degrees outside. I'm not gonna, you know, wait that long. So what you do is take a little stick and spin your fan, and you jump start it up until you get this in the mail. Okay, now your fan's blowing and you're gonna have your cool air. Okay, so here's a little trick on how to jump start your fan without even changing your run capacitor. It's a $22 fix. Let me show you guys how to switch out your run capacitor. Alright, first and foremost, this is very important. You want to disconnect the main power with this. Do this first in every situation. Put it up here so you have clear sight of it, knowing that it's off. Okay. Next, you're going to unscrew these little things here. I've already done most of them to save some time. And then my run capacitor is right inside, so I'm going to remove this panel as well. I dropped that screw, can't forget it. Okay, so here is my run capacitor right up here. Okay, this is the one that's out. So what we're going to do here, now worst case scenario, if I replace this and it's still not spinning, I'll change the motor start capacitor, but I'm pretty confident in this case, in this situation, it's not the motor start capacitor. The reason I say that is because when I look at this, the top of it is a little warped, and I'll show you when I take it out. Okay, so this is what we're going to take out. So now that we've removed everything, what I'm about to tell you next is critically important, okay? So even though we have the power off to the unit itself, these run start capacitors will still charge or hold electricity. So what you want to do is take a screwdriver that's insulated with plastic. Make sure you don't touch any part of the metal with your fingers, and you want to first discharge it, meaning hold the here, I'll show you on this one. You want to hold these together so you'll discharge the electrical current. So if you touch it without doing that, you're still very likely to get zapped. So you make sure in every situation, on top of turning off the disconnector like I did, you want to discharge this. Yeah. The reason I'm telling you this, because personally, even myself, I've been zapped before, and you know, it's nothing that's going to kill you, but it is a jolt that's kind of painful. So do yourself a favor and always discharge that. Can't stress that enough. So next, what we're going to do, And just in case, discharge the bottom one, so in case your hand touches it, you still won't get zapped, okay? Just better safe than sorry. Now we're going to take this out right here, right? Okay. Now, before you start unplugging here, you look at everything here. You got three simple things here. You got fan, common, and hermetic, right? This is the new one. And then what we're going to do is align it with the old one, where fan's here, herm's here. What we're going to simply do is take one out at a time. Okay, so that does that. And then we're going to do the fan. Okay, and then we got one more left, which is, oops, fan came out. And then we got the common, which is two more wires left. That's going to go right here. So all we simply did is just reconnect the wires where they were originally. Okay, make sure they're intact. Okay, they're all in place. As you can see, the top part of this is just straight, and this kind of bubbled out a little bit, which led me to believe that this one was the one that was out rather than the motor start capacitor. This is the run capacitor. So before, I'm going to leave this just like this before I start screwing it back in and everything. What I'm going to do is come back over here, and I'm going to plug this back in and see if my fan switches on without having to jump start anymore, since I switched the capacitor. There it was. Fan spinning now without the jump start. Alright, so we're up and running now. So before you start putting that back in, go back over here, disconnect this. We're going to screw this back in, but keep in mind, guys, don't get excited and go back and touch this, because keep in mind this is recharged again. So we want to diffuse these by touching the terminals together again, discharge it, and even this one on the bottom here. Okay, now it's discharged, so now it's safe to touch. So now you're ready to reassemble and put everything back in. Okay, so I just want to remind you to do that. So in a nutshell, guys, for $22 and a couple simple tools, I was able to get my AC up and running. Even a service call is going to run you a couple $100, and they might even tell you have to replace the whole unit. So if you can just replace the run capacitor yourself, and you know, if it's not that, then call the professional, because you know, I don't know how to replace a fan, and I don't know how to replace everything else, but I bet you anybody can do what I just did and save themselves hundreds of dollars. Thanks for watching my video, and take care.